everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name's Bonnie and this is Happy Space Creates. If you are new here, hello and welcome. Thank you so much for joining me today. This is a sewing and crafting related content channel. So if that sounds like something that you enjoy to watch, do click the subscribe button down below and give this video a little thumbs up if you enjoy it at the end. But today's video is going to be all about my recent makes. I realise I haven't done a video like this since maybe back in January or February. I have been showing you what I've been making along the way, but I haven't done a dedicated what I've made video. So if that's something that you do want to watch, do stay tuned. Welcome back. Thank you so much for coming back to me today. Like I said, I'm going to be talking you through my recent makes. I have made 3 garments this month, although 2 of them belong to a matching co-ord, so I'll be talking you through all of that. I have been heavily inspired by the sewing bee recently. There was a French Riviera challenge, I think on episode 2, so this co-ord was completely inspired by that. I had the fabric in my stash for the longest time, maybe 18 months. I got it from my local craft store, which is Falcon Fabric, so I will just show you my top half of this co-ord now. So this is the Tiana's Closet Amanda tie top. God, that is a tongue twister. This is a completely free pattern, which is such a bonus, and Tiana's Closet has so many free patterns that you can download. I always love having a little scroll on Instagram and then all you do is go onto her website, but it's kind of laid out like a blog. So all the instructions are in the blog post and then at the bottom you download the pattern pieces. If you do need any help with that, feel free to reach out because it took me a little while to understand how to save the pattern and print it. So if you do need any help, just reach out. But yeah, this is a free pattern and I absolutely love it. It's so simplistic, but is really, really effective. So it's got 2 bust darts at the front for some shaping, and then it's got a gorgeous V-neck as well, and then these lovely tie tops. I think you probably could experiment with how you tie them as well, depending on your fabric choice. Now, I've gone for this lovely ombre linen, so it is a little bit thicker, so I probably am quite limited to just this tie. But if you had something a little bit more slinky, like a satin, and you extended the ties, you could probably play about with that quite a lot. But yeah, I thought this ombre linen was so stylish. I got this from my local craft store, like I said, Falcon Fabrics, and that's over in Chichester. Now, they don't particularly specialise in dressmaking fabrics. Locally, they are most known for upholstery and curtain making, but they had this fabric in their bargain bucket and it was like really reasonably priced. I think it was about £4 a metre, which is a bargain for such good quality linen. However, it did have some staining on it from just storage. So I bought quite a few meters of it and just kind of worked around like the staining and like the dye. So that was a bit tricky when I was trying to cut out the co-ord because I did almost get to a point where I just couldn't fit it all in. And I was really trying to concentrate on the style of the placement of the ombre because I felt like that was really important to get the look correct. So I'm very fortunate that it worked out in my favour in that case. Yeah, this has 2 facings in it. When I make this again, I think I probably will size down. This is the size large and the pattern comes from size XS, XXS and 5XL. So it goes from extra, extra small to 5XL. It's such a tongue twister today. But yeah, I made the large, so that was the pattern that fitted my measurements the most, but I'd probably opt for a medium in the future just because it is loose, but maybe in a lighter weight fabric I'd want it a bit tighter. But it's absolutely gorgeous and I love that I could wear this tucked in or over the top of jeans or however I choose to wear it. It would look lovely tucked into a skirt. So as a standalone garment, I really, really enjoy this. The white linen makes me look really tanned as well because we haven't had a very good summer so far. But I am hoping to get a lot of wear out of this and I have already worn the co-ord quite a few times and I got so many compliments on it, which was really, really nice to get that gratification. So I'll explain one of the reasons why I wanted to make the co-ord because Like I said, I was inspired by the sewing bee, but also I work in an office, so I sit at a desk quite a lot for the day, and I wanted something quite comfortable and loose and relaxed, but still look relatively smart and stylish for if we have meetings like that just crop up that I don't have to worry about. So I just thought this would be the perfect ensemble. So let me talk you through the trousers I made as well. They are just down here. So the trousers are the Feel Pretty pants by Ellie and Mac. So this was actually a pattern that I downloaded on their wacky sale. So every week they choose like 4 or 5 patterns to go into their wacky sale, and they reduce them down to around £2.50, so it's about half price. And the Free Pretty pants were one of the patterns that were discounted a few weeks ago, and I think they've gone up to full price now, so even that's only about £5.95, so still really good value. But I will make sure I pop the links to these patterns in the description box for you to check out as well. So these are the Feel Pretty pants. So they are a pair of sort of straight legged, they're not wide legged, but they are straight legged, quite loose fitting, elasticated trousers. And you can see that I went for like the straight stripe on the trousers to make me look a bit taller. And then I did the horizontal stripe on the top just to give it a little point of difference. And I just thought it was a really interesting way to use the ombre. And I love the fact that it sort of like fades all the way round. I'm really pleased with the placement of the pattern. I really thought about it, and I'm really glad I did think about it because it turned out so well. Now again, with these come in a size extra small to 5XL, and they are exactly the same size measurements as the Tiana's closet. Again, I made a large. I would probably size down to a medium in the future, and there are a few pattern adjustments that I would like to make to them. This is considered the high-waisted version of the pattern. They do have a low rise and a high-waisted size. However, I would like them to be a little bit more high-waisted, so I am just going to adjust the rise of those when I next make them. I do feel like sizing down as well is going to make me need to increase that rise a bit more, just because everything's going to be a little bit tighter. But it does have an elasticated waist, and you could add some more detail onto this waistband if you wanted to, but I quite liked having it semi-paper bag-esque. And I also did add pockets into these. Now the pattern doesn't include pockets because they are like a loungewear pattern. However, the pocket that I put in, I believe, was the Davenport dress pocket, and that is purely just because I had it close to hand, so it was the easiest pocket I could get to. But once you know how to put pockets like inseams into things, it's really straightforward and you can do it with absolutely everything. But yeah, these are the trousers. I did an absolute hash job of sewing in a label, because I realised that I didn't know easily which was the front or the back, and of course, me being me, left it last minute, and I did a really terrible job of sewing that in, so don't look too closely. But when it's dark and I need to know which is the front and which is the back, it serves a purpose. But the Feel Pretty pant pattern comes in long length, capri length, and then you've also got a shorts version as well. So for like £5.95, it's a really good value pattern, because you could even use the pattern for pyjama trousers, summer shorts. Like, it's so versatile. I think it's great. So I think once I work on my fit and make a few versions of them, I feel like I've nailed trousers, then I don't need to worry about anything else. So then that is 2 of the items out of the 3 I've got to show you. Like I said, it is a co-ord, so it kind of goes hand in hand. But then the 3rd item that I made was another Ellie and Mac pattern, and I've had this pattern for absolutely donkey's years and never got round to making it. And it was another one that I bought in a wacky sale probably like years ago, but I've just never got round to making it. And this is called the South Shore Romper. Again, this pattern comes in a long length, a capri length, and then you can also make like a short sleeve version and like a shorts version. So holiday kind of outfits, or just really stylish like long outfits. You know, I always get confused whether it is a play suit or a jumpsuit. I can never remember. I'm pretty confident that the long ones are jumpsuits. So I've made the South Shore Romper jumpsuit edition. So I will insert some pictures for you to have a look here, but I will just hold it up for you. So this is the South Shore romper. Now, typical me, I ran out of fabric, so it doesn't actually have any sleeves. This is a sleeveless version, so you do also have that option as well. And I made the sleeveless version. I'm going to tell you it's because I wanted something for the summer, but the truth is because I didn't have enough fabric. So we're all about honest sewing here. But yeah, I wanted to make long legs, so I made a full length trouser, but it did mean that I didn't have enough to do sleeves. So sacrifices that we make. However, again, this is an outfit that I've worn numerous times already, and I have had lovely compliments on it, especially from my mother-in-law, who was flabbergasted that I made a jumpsuit. She should know me by now, I can make anything. But yes, you can see that I have got a different coloured binding as well. That was actually intentional. That wasn't because I ran out of fabric. I just felt like that would be a really interesting detail because the fabric is quite loud and floral and in your face. I felt like the contrast would be lovely. So this fabric is a jersey lycra, and this actually came from Hobbycraft. I can't tell you how much it was per metre. I've had it for quite a while actually, and this was before I had ventured into learning how to use my overlocker. So I bought this with the intentions of getting into sewing jersey fabrics, and now I know how to use my overlocker, so all of these projects have been made a lot easier by understanding how to use an overlocker. And it makes me wonder why I didn't use it before. But yeah, so the South Shore romper, like I said, it comes in lots of different versions. Now, what I will say is this size I think I made the large as well, but this fits me like a dream. I did extend the bodice by 1 inch, and that's just because I do have like short legs but like quite a long torso, so I just added an extra inch onto the bodice just to give me a little bit more room in that area so things don't go riding up in the wrong places. It's got a lovely crossover detail, as you can see, with the neck binding, and I did put elastic in the ruching because the pattern tells you to do some gathering with some cotton, and I decided to use elastic just because you've got to like stretch it and pull your body in and out, and I was a bit worried. You know what jumpsuits are like, they're a bit of a pain to get in and out of, so I decided to opt for gathering with elastic just to make it a little bit more easy to get in and out of. Now, when it comes to the neck binding, because I was using a different type of jersey, this jersey fabric has slightly less stretch than my lycra jersey. So that was a bit of a trial and error actually, because originally I cut it the size of the pattern and I could not get it on and off. It did not stretch enough over my bust to get myself out. I was just all like stuck in it. So I did have to unpick all of that and add probably another 3 or 4 inches onto the neck binding. It was a real trial and error because I did it a little bit too small and I couldn't get out of it, and then I did it a little bit too big and it was a bit gapey, so I had a real play around with that. Obviously it would have been a lot easier if I was using the same fabric, but I went with the look rather than the function, and I wanted to have function, so I kept trialing it. But I got there in the end, and the armbands actually fitted absolutely fine. I got them right first time, but I did need to do a little bit of work on the neckband. But as with anything, you put the time and effort into it and it all works out in the end. And then I did make a little matching sash to go around the middle. Again, I was going to do it in the actual fabric, but I didn't have enough, so I made it in the contrasting. And I feel like that brings it all together as well. So it turned out perfectly, really. The one thing I will say is that it was extremely difficult to hem these trousers. They were so slinky and I feel like I've made a terrible job of hemming them. But luckily, because they're wide-legged, you can't really tell that much that the hem is a bit skewy. And if I just walk fast, no one will notice. so that is hopefully okay. But I do really enjoy the South Shore romper. I thought it was a great pattern. I think if I had a few more holidays booked, which I don't, sadly, that I would make some for holiday wear. But again, this is absolutely fab to wear to the office because it looks really stylish and kind of like I've made an effort, but it feels like I'm wearing pajamas, which is exactly what we want in the working day. So this month was all about making outdoor pajamas, work pajamas basically. And I feel like I really succeeded. It was an absolute success. It's been a really long time that I've sat down and sewed without too many problematic experiences really. I'm sure you can relate that sometimes things don't go our way, but sometimes things weren't going my way, like with the neck binding of the playsuit. I persevered, I didn't get flustered, and I feel like as I'm progressing in my sewing journey, I understand a little bit more on how to resolve issues. And that's great because I feel a little bit more confident in straying away from the traditional patterns. I'm not a natural pattern hacker by nature. I think the process for me, I enjoy following the instructions and that's just how I like to do things. But I think I am going to be venturing more into hacking in the future, which is quite nice. So I will be following up in a week's time with some new fabrics that came because of course with new fabrics comes new ideas and new makes to add to the list. But this week I'm going to be focusing on a pattern test. So I do have one of those doing. It's actually my first ever pattern test, which is really exciting, but I really want to focus on that this week and take my time because I think that's so important to just, if you're going to do that for someone, just give it your all. So I will be focusing on that this week. But tell me in the comments below what you think of my new garments. Have you made any of these patterns at home? I would love to hear your thoughts on what you're making in the upcoming month. But if you have liked this video, do give it a little thumbs up because that really helps me over on YouTube. It tells the algorithm that you love seeing my face, which, I mean, hopefully you do. And if you want to see more videos from me every week, do click the subscribe button down below. And that's it from me for now. I'm going to see you really soon. Bye.